All right, number 5 here. What they're kind of seeing here is if you can manipulate these things and just sketch an accurate graph. So for part A, this kind of looks like the equation of a circle centered at the origin, but it's not because you've got a different coefficient on the x than you do on the y. So what you want to do here is divide everything by 81, both sides by 81, and you get x squared over 81 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. And what that is the equation for an ellipse. If you think about some critical points here, if you put in 9 for x, you get 9 squared is 81. That's a 1. So that's 1. 9 comma 0 is one of our points. Similarly, negative 9 comma 0 will be on this graph. Okay? If you put in a 3 for y, that's going to give you 1, which would make 0, x equal to 0. So the point 0 comma 3 and 0 comma negative 3 are on this. And you get an ellipse. Okay? For part B, once again, you've got to use your change of base formula here. Y equals log base 2 of 8x. Remember this little wheel? It's the base to that equals that. So 2 to the y equals 8x. So that doesn't look all that familiar. So you divide each side by 8, and you end up getting x equals 2 to the y over 8, or 2 to the y over 8. So what this is an exponential graph. I don't know how much time I have to go over this with you, but x equals 2 to the y. The x gets really big really fast. And it's a graph that looks like this. When you divide it by 8, it just gets bigger a little slower, but really it doesn't even have that big an effect on it. So that is a sketch, to say the least. Okay, it's certainly not perfect. Okay, so for C, I think I'm going to go down here. This is just a standard parabola graph. Y equals x squared plus 4x plus 1. It tells us to label the vertex. Y equals x squared plus 4x plus 1. Okay, well, that's a parabola. It's facing upwards because that's positive right there. And, you know, one way you could just do this is exhaustively check some points and maybe intuitively put in some good ones. So that would be a good spot to start. Like try minus 4, minus 2, 0, 2, and 4, and just see what happens. So you get a 16 minus 16 plus 1, that's a 1. You get a 4 minus 8, 4 minus 8 plus 1. Did I do that? Did I do the first one right? Let me check this again. You get a positive 16 minus 16 plus 1. That's right. Okay. Positive 4 minus 8 is negative 4 plus 1, negative 3. All right, we'll just plot these and see how it works. 0, you get a 1. 2, you get 4 plus 8 is 12 plus 1 is 13. Sorry, it's very early. 16 plus 16. Okay, so this plus 1 is 33. So I actually think we stumbled upon the vertex right here by symmetry. But let me explain to you how you'd find the vertex. For the vertex, x is equal to minus b over 2a. So in this case, our a is 1 and our b is 4. So our vertex for the x value is negative 4 over 2 times 1, and our x value is negative 2. So our vertex is negative 2 comma negative 3. So if we sketch this thing, and we'll just plot our other points that we got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4 comma 1. Negative 2 comma negative 3 is already on there. 0 comma 1. Notice the symmetry. And 2 comma big 13. We'll put this one here, and you can see that's going to be a parabola. With the it says to label the vertex, so I put this point to be negative 2, negative 3. Boom!